Okay, this is another rant and ramble section. I've done a bunch in a row right now, kind of on a roll. I probably won't post them all at the same time, but I'm recording them all at the same time. This one's about remakes, movie remakes. It's all been said before, but this is my take on it. When you're making a remake, you have to ask yourself, why are you making it? You just start from that point. If it's just to make money, go ahead, do it, whatever. We have enough of those. Cool. Now, if it's to update it for the current generation, and not just as a marketing thing, oh, it's current generation, so no. If things change, if there's a drastic paradigm shift, like look at from like the 70s to the 80s, you could legitimately make a movie in the 70s and remake it in the 80s and it'll be a different type of movie. The mores changed. It changed. 80s to the 90s even. 90s to the thousands. The first, you know, the, the thousands. Like now from 2010 on, it could be different again. It's per decade. I'm not saying you need to make a movie every decade, remake it every decade, but certain movies with certain themes, sure, it works. You know, I kind of want to talk about this because I was thinking of the Halloween remake, and I'm not getting into it too deep, but I'll use it as an example for this point. If you're gonna remake something, even if it's a different generation and all this stuff, you don't take away from what the story is about. You don't take away the heart of it, because at that point it's a different story. Just make a different story, different name, different whatever, a different story. Cause you have a different story to tell than what the original was. You know what I mean? It's all a boogeyman story. I mean, it's all goes by the campfire tales. But that heart's always, like I say, it's all a boogeyman. With the Halloween remake, it wasn't really the boogeyman. You know what I mean? The thing that made Michael Myers originally in the first movie, the other movies is garbage. In the first movie, what made him so scary was there was no reason why he was doing what he was doing. He was just a kid, and one day just killed his sister for no reason. Sat in the sanitarium for a couple of years, then left for no real reason when he felt like it. I mean, it's scary that you can't explain it away. There's no psychobabble. There's no any of that. It's he was just doing what he was doing, and he was your neighbor. I mean, he was like the kid next door, and that's the kind of affair we all have, I think. It's like, how much can you really trust someone? What are they hiding? You know, well, different levels of that affair, sure, but I think on some level we all have it, and he represented that. He was the face in the mirror. He was you. He was the evil that's inside of you. The evil that's inside of man. You know, given form. You take that away in the remake because it's like he was abused and stuff. So you understand why he was lashing out. Michael originally wasn't lashing out. He was just killing people for whatever reason he had. You never really knew. In the sequels, it became, oh yeah, it was his sister and yeah, okay. I'm talking about the original movie that didn't intend to have a sequel. In the original, yeah, there was no reason. You know, but whatever. It's like that with a lot of remakes. You do it for the right reason. Like something like, I don't know. But something like Soylent Green, I mean, like even today, it still stands up. I mean, that hasn't really, changed. It would be redundant to make a remake of that movie. You could do it, sure. I mean, update it and da da da, with technology today and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it doesn't need it. I'm trying to think of a movie that would warrant a remake. I can't really think of any. I'm not saying that there isn't any, but I'm saying I can't think of any like old movie or something like that that would. So yeah, I would love to see what would they do now if people of today's generation was in that situation, or people in the story. What would they do? How would they handle that? You I mean, and this topic of remakes gets into the whole thing of, do people understand what a story is about? And when you don't have that, I mean, you're bound to fail. It's no way to get back from that, because you lose the core of it. Everything is based off the core. That's why you can feel comfortable changing things, because it's like it's not tied to any. It's not tied to anything of the original story. It's tied to whatever story you want to tell. I'm not saying that you can't add your own spin and add your own tale, your chapter to it, to it, but it has to be that original thing, and then your thing added in, I guess. But we don't want to see your story, especially if you saying, okay, it's this movie. We want to see that movie updated. We want to see that movie, the original person's idea, with your. It's like a song. It's like jazz. If someone plays a song, if they cover a song in jazz, it's the basic motif of the original song with their spin on it. That's what remakes are to me, and in my opinion, what they should be. You riffing on what someone said, someone did, someone made, someone created. Not using the title of that song for your own song. It's disingenuous. It's not it's not cool. But yeah, so this now sparks something in my mind for another rant and ramble. So I'm gonna record right now. So this is the end for this one. I probably will touch back on remakes though, but for right now, yeah, it's the end. Later, guys.